my channel. I'm going to be making this video about how to deal with mastitis. Now, I made an earlier video about how to deal with mastitis and blocked milk ducts because I named it like that because basically you have to do the same stuff, but mastitis you may need to go to the doctor and get antibiotics. So I would say to deal how to deal with mastitis is actually recognizing that you have mastitis. That's the number one step. And I would tell you that most of the people will tell you that the difference is that between a blocked milk duct and mastitis is the flu-like symptoms and the fever. So if you're feverish and feel flu-like symptoms, you feel tired, you feel achy, your body aches, and most of the time it's just too much pain on your breast, you have mastitis. So also, you can recognize mastitis by taking a cotton pad or a cotton ball and pressing some milk out. Press from where it hurts. I know that's just a little bit too much, but just press from where it hurts so that the milk comes out through that milk duct. Make it come out like that, you know if it's infected. The milk will come out and the milk will go through the ball, through the cotton ball or the cotton pad, and if it's infected, there will be pus, and the pus, the yellow top will be on top of the cotton pad or the cotton ball. That's something my midwife told me and something I had to do when I realized that I had mastitis because I had the flu-like symptoms and I was very feverish, very feverish. So she told me to do that before she'll come and prescribe the antibiotics and everything else. So I did that, and when I called her, I said, no, I have fever, but the milk just went through it and nothing happened. She came because she said, well, it's not okay that you're having fever, so let me just check. And she actually pressed, because I pressed the milk, but I didn't make it come. Mine was from back here. So she actually pressed from, even though it hurt, she pressed and made the milk come out from that part. When the milk come out from that part, there was actually pus in it. And I was so surprised because I told her I made the I'm looking now because Noah is on top of me. I just fed him, and right now he's getting a little bit fussy. He just wants to be on me all the time. So let me just I just decided to make the video with him on me. So when she did that, I was so surprised that it came out a different color and that the pus did stay on the top of the cotton pad or the cotton ball, and it was crazy when I saw that. So she said, okay, you have an infection, you have mastitis, you don't have just a blood duct, so you're gonna have to take antibiotics. Now I started crying because this was the reason why I stopped feeding my first baby, Nathan. I stopped feeding him when he was 3 months because I got a mastitis and they prescribed me antibiotics, and I said, well, I cannot feed. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm also a little bit sick. So I'm congested, just letting you know. So I started crying. She's like, what happened? And I said, well, I don't want to stop feeding him. I don't want to stop breastfeeding. And she said, taking antibiotics does not mean that you have to stop feeding the baby. I will prescribe antibiotics that allow you to continue breastfeeding. Please don't let this stop you from breastfeeding. I said, really? I explained the whole situation with Nathan, and she said, some doctors, unfortunately here in France, they're not very pro-lactation, I would say. And they will tell you, okay, well, you have this, so stop feeding. That's not good. That's exactly what happened. So she told me, no, because you have antibiotics, because you have mastitis, does not mean that you have to stop feeding. Actually, stop feeding when you have mastitis may get everything worse because you will stop feeding, and your breasts are gonna get engorged, and you're gonna get pain, and the whole thing is gonna get worse. So I'm just here and I'm telling you that please don't stop breastfeeding because you have mastitis. Don't stop breastfeeding because you got antibiotics. Just please don't do that. If you really want to breastfeed and really want to like go for a long run on the feeding your baby, just don't stop. Don't stop because you have that. Um, I did the research also because, well, she told me that, but I also like started researching and started looking at stuff, and there is the um, website which is called La Leche League, and it tells you everything about breastfeeding, and it tells you stuff to do while you're breastfeeding, and they also say not to stop breastfeeding while you're having mastitis. So I'm gonna tell you what the midwife told me to do, which is basically the same thing as milk duct. Clogged milk duct is rest, hot shower, massage your breast. I always go to this one because this was the one that I had the mastitis on. But just massage it and make your milk go through, because uh, the best way to get this over is emptying your breast. So if you can pump after feeding the baby, just pump and empty your breast. Like that, the milk duct, it gets like a little bit softer, and the heat also helps with that. Now you can put cold after feeding the baby because the cold will help with the inflammation. Hot and cold help with the inflammation, but cold will help you with the inflammation and with the pain. So just put a cold compress, or like I told you before, this saved my life. Is from Lancino, and you can find it online. You can find it on CVS, Target, everywhere basically. And I love this. This saved my life with engorgement, and this saved my life with mastitis and with clogged milk ducts. So that is something that just hot and cold. I would use hot before feeding or pumping because the hot will help the milk go through faster, and then the cold twist with the pain and with the inflammation. Now you can also take ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is for inflammation, and that will help you. Just don't overdo it because some ibuprofen goes through the milk, and I understand some moms are against it, but if you do talk to your lactation consultant or your gyno or your physician, talk about it and ask if you are able to take ibuprofen or acetaminophen. So just ask about this stuff that you are able to take to ease your pain, to lower your fever, to make you feel a little bit more comfortable to be able to continue feeding your baby. Another thing is change positions, because the baby is not emptying the breast completely everywhere. So you have to change the position you're grabbing him or her to help, first of all, the blood duct, and second of all, to empty your breast. So basically is whatever I spoke earlier on the other video on the mastitis and blood milk ducts, but just a little emphasis on the antibiotic. Also, you can eat if you don't want antibiotics, and if you're starting feeling feverish, um, or a little bit sick while you're breastfeeding, just take honey, and I know it's not very good, but garlic. Garlic is an anti-inflammatory and anti-fungal. It's an antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and I believe since it's an antifungal, it helps with the infection. It helps with infection. So just take milk and garlic, and this will help you. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm just talking about everything that I've gone through with my 3 babies, and This time I had to take the antibiotics with Noah, but with Naomi I was able to stop it with the garlic and the honey. So if you are able to prevent taking antibiotics, is better, because if you take antibiotics, you need to get probiotics for yourself and probiotics for your baby. Maybe you already given probiotics to your baby since he or she is a newborn, for the colics and for other stuff. But if you have to take antibiotics and you don't want to stop breastfeeding, just take just take probiotics for yourself and probiotics for your baby. That's what I did. I got she actually prescribed me the antibiotics and she prescribed me the probiotics for myself. And I asked her to prescribe probiotics for my baby because I thought it was good, and she agreed. She didn't think about it, but she said I was right, and she prescribed it for me, for him, and my antibiotics. So if you are breastfeeding, you get a mastitis, and you have to take antibiotics, do not forget to take probiotics. That will just help you. That will just help you get better. And if you're breastfeeding, just take probiotics naturally, because probiotics will actually prevent mastitis to happen. This I read, and my midwife told me about it. Uh, she said that if I take probiotics while breastfeeding, that will help prevent mastitis, and I wasn't doing that, and I completely forgot, because I was taking probiotics with Naomi, and this time I forgot to start taking probiotics, and maybe I could have avoided the mastitis. So just throwing it out there, because mastitis can happen, or blood ducts can happen in the beginning while you're breastfeeding, because you're producing milk, you don't know exactly how much you have to produce. But also when the baby may sleep longer at night, you may get engorged, and this whole situation may happen again. So just have in mind that probiotics is always good to take while you're breastfeeding, and probiotics are good also for the baby. So, and just probiotics in general are good for everybody. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, don't hesitate to comment down below. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening. Please, 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 thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Bye bye.